All right. So if you are sitting at your desk, which probably many of us are, have your feet flat on the floor, unless you've got a nice comfy chair that's wide enough for you to sit cross-legged in. And here's a good opportunity to really feel the soles of the feet, the heels, the side of the foot, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and all those little toe pads. Really feel the weight of the foot in the floor, the weight of the lower leg in the foot. And just feel the weight of your sits bones in your chair. And now align your shoulders with your hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light that stretches from the base and goes all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So you're just lengthening your spine. And I also always notice after I've swum a few laps, I have this pot rack. It's easier for me to put the pots back up. It's quite high. Everyone in this, where I'm living in this house, is much, much taller than me. And so I feel like I'm in a giant person's house. Anyway, after I've swum, I feel longer. And Christine, of course, who's a chiropractor, says it does put some space in between the vertebrae. So if you swim, you'll get taller. You're lengthening all the muscles, strengthening your core while you're swimming. So it really is excellent exercise because it just takes care of the whole body. So anyway, imagine you're nice and long, space in between those vertebrae, dropping the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. And then allow your ears to align with your shoulders. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head. And relax your scalp. Maybe you can feel some sensation there. And relax the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, this area around the mouth, the jaw, the back of the tongue. Relax the back of the head, the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. A little bit cooler as you inhale, a little bit warmer as you're exhaling. And then be aware of any sounds in your environment, in the garden, outside on the street, in your apartment or home. People just going about their evening activities. And then just notice, what thoughts are arising in the mind, what stories, what opinions, and take a step back and observe like a scientist would. So today in our Tai Chi Chuan class, we were asked to get into pairs and both do one of the movements. And then one person would observe the other. And this was enormously difficult to do because we weren't allowed to offer modifications. We weren't allowed to offer opinions, praise or criticism. We just had to look at what it was we were looking at. It's difficult because we all have opinions. Oh, that looks really beautiful. Oh, your right foot is kind of leaning in a bit. It's too far out to the side. We had to take it right back and make it really, really simple. So do this with your mind. Just take it back. No emotion, no opinions, no engagement of the story, and just see what's there. Oh, I see some planning thoughts. That's it. It's also something they train I understand, the yoga teachers to do, so that they don't get involved with the students' bodies, like criticizing, praising, having opinions. So I found this difficult because all I could look at was your right foot is moving out, your hands are moving. I mean, it became that simple. So try and see if you can bring down what you're seeing in the mind to that level of simplicity without any engagement, no opinions, just what's there. And don't judge. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, these people who we adore. We would, we would do anything to protect them, take care of them, make sure they're looked after. If we can, put a roof over their head, make sure they're fed. And then there's those people that we, kind of try and push away. And then there's our strangers, and they all are able to change place at any time. And they're all equal in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for an enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and then just think particularly of this, this sweet man from Ginny and Amala Judith's retirement place, Richard Brayton, 75 years old. As Ginny said, the finger is pointing, but actually it's pointing at everyone, Ginny, not just the folks in your retirement place. As Coral discovered earlier this week, her granddaughter narrowly escaped the finger. So this is also a reminder not to take people for granted. Oh, I forgot to tell them this. I wanted to let them know how much I cared about them. I wanted to let them know how this and this helped me. So say it now. So that if they do suddenly pass away, you don't have this regret. Oh, I wish I had told them. So I think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, and so we can equally change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being in this life, in this day, in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And then, the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think again, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we have our beautiful Vajrasattva, power of reliance. And we start with refuge. So refuge is, we have this inner refuge and outer refuge. Lamiyesh used to talk. So here we're looking a little bit at this outer refuge, which is Vajrasattva, but it's not like a higher power kind of thing that's going to come along and forgive us and wipe all our sins away kind of thing. It's more about this person, this Buddha has these methods that we can use to heal ourselves. So it's like medicine. In a way, you go to a doctor, take refuge in your doctor when you're sick. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and he's your teacher also manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful face, peaceful, full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And there being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then with this little section on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, which is a wish for people to be free from suffering, we need to rely upon other beings and the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with this body in the form of inky liquid, and it pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajrama Mimutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajrama Mimutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajrama Mimutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajrama Mimutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. And vajrasafa samayam manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. And vajrasafa samayam manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, and this time forces up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All our inappropriate speech. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. And vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. And vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. And vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. And vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. And vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dira mebowa sutukaya mebowa sipokaya mebowa. Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitam me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine you walk into a room, it's pitch black, you flick on the switch, and the light instantly dispels the darkness, the light in the room that comes. And you can think the same thing happens when the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anger, vitriol, all of this irritation, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, dita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboal Sutukaya Meboal Sipokaya Meboal Anurakta Meboal Savasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboal Sutukaya Meboal Sipokaya Meboal Anurakta Meboal Savasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboal Sutukaya Meboal Sipokaya Meboal Anurakta Meboal Savasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel you are completely purified and there's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in this purification process. It's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without making this kind of determination, we're going to keep following the same old habits. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind and new directions. Salam Rinpoche used to talk about everything being on the tip of the wishes, which I think is so sweet. Anyway, so rejoice in your efforts coming along here. I know for some of you it's very, very late. So that's really amazing. It's super. And then think about something you'd like to work on over the next few days. I will be gone Thursday and Friday. So, but still, you guys will all be doing the meditation together Thursday, Friday, and Venerable Dundrup will be filling in for me Friday morning. So you can, think of something that you'd like to work on. Maybe it's your speech, some internal habit, some rumination thing. And this, imagine now Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And so next, Rinpoche would recommend talking about emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for just a moment. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. The way things appear to me might not be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So here we do some 3 verses of the chanting the names of Manjushri. The shaker of 100 worldly realms, his strength, the 4 miraculous powers, reality with mindfulness supreme, samadhi king of fourfold mindfulness, infused with sense from bloom on Bodhi's branches, an ocean of Tathagata's virtues, with knowledge of the eightfold path's true way, with knowledge of the path of perfect Buddhas. The great attachment of all living beings, attachment free, comparable to space, when springing up in every creature's mind, he is for every being as swift as mind. Okay, everybody. Good night. Lots of love. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys. And I'll see you on Monday. Thank you so very much. Thanks for hosting. Everybody stay safe. And look forward to seeing you after the weekend. Okay. Bye, everyone.
It's only Wednesday.